I really don't know, man. I think it'll be a tight election, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it'll be close.
I'm right there with you. I agree that it'll be close. I I'm torn, like because I also agree with Alan Lickman, and typically, like based on his predictions, he has a good track record. So typically, I do like to side with him. But if I'm giving my honest personal opinion, number one, I would like Kamala to win personally. But I don't just as of the moment, I don't think that she's going to win personally. Um, I believe Trump has had slight increase in the polls recently, and just like as you stated, as it relates to some key demographics, I think they're starting to shift. Men in particular, some minorities, um, and just again when I have conversations with people, um, I'm just not sure that America, especially as it relates to this moment, I'm not, and it's sad to say, but I'm not sure America is ready for a woman president. It's just like if Trump wins, he would have beaten two women, and he would have lost to Joe Biden being a man. So like the only times he wins, or if he wins in this particular election, he would have only beaten two women. And I think number one, I think that's an interesting perspective, just in general as it relates to Trump.
Well, so here,
Um,
I want to ask a question though. He, assuming he wins, he would have beaten two women, but would it be because they're women? So, like, what I said initially was, and this is not intended to be disrespectful, but just at the quality of the candidate level, I don't think Kamala is particularly impressive, right? She's not an Obama. She's not, right? I mean, like she's more on the Biden caliber. And even I don't think like who was excited about Biden. I like him personally, but like, do I like him like Obama? Do I like him like Bill Clinton? Bill Clinton may not have been the best husband in the world,
right.
but as a leader and as a president, like these are when I think about Bill Clinton, I think about Barack Obama. These are highly charismatic, generally pretty impressive and intelligent people, right? I have a lot of respect for them. It's like Kamala is not in that category. So like it could be a female thing or it could just be a candidate quality thing. I'm not sure which one it is.
I think it's a combination of both. Like I was watching Piers Morgan, and they had Tim Pool, and like a few other people in there, and even Tim. Uh, like as a Republican, I would say Tim is on the far right if I had to
Yeah.
put him in a place, but he was even saying that he believes like there's a misogyny problem in America. He even said it. He flat out said it. He's like, I think Kamala. My apologies. I may even mispronounce her name a few times, but he even stated that she may have a negative consequence because of the problem in America, because of a misogyny problem in America, and that's coming from a far right Republican. And I wouldn't like, and just personally, again, I've had conversations with friends just asking about their perspective. The very first thing that a friend told me was he doesn't want a woman president. And I'm like, I think that is so. Number one, I think that's part of the problem on the right and the left, and I think even Obama was speaking to it as well when he was giving his remarks. I believe to black men. I disagreed with Obama's, and so like I agree with him, but I disagree. I disagree with the way he presented that information.
So let's jump there. But before we go to the Obama race stuff, I do want to counter my own argument because I think Hillary was a very strong candidate. I think
Right,
Hillary would have
right.
been a very, very good president. She just wasn't very likable. Now, here's the thing. I think Hillary also suffered from, I think, Republicans were pretty motivated around the Supreme Court. at that time. Again,
Right.
Trump had plausible deniability at that time, and everybody was overconfident that she was going to win. And so you had like lower turnout among Democrats, who were kind of lukewarm about her, upset about the Bernie Sanders situation, thinking that she was still going to win anyway. I mean, they'd still rather have her than Trump in, right? But they were just, a lot of us were lukewarm about her. Even though, when I say us, I liked her a lot, but I say us as Democrats, were lukewarm about her, and they thought she was going to win anyway, so they didn't show up to vote, and then Trump stole it. So yeah, I would I would say there probably is an element because I think Hillary would have been a very, very good president. I think she was a strong candidate. She wasn't very likable.
Right.
Let me, there's how well you would do as a leader, right? Like your policy decisions, your strategic moves that you make, how you interact with our alliances, the economy, like the actual policy stuff. I think she would have been among the best ever, personally, at that. She has some of the most experience ever. Um, and I think she's genuinely pretty smart and has good ideas. But in terms of getting elected, she doesn't have the charisma
Right.
that a Bill Clinton or Obama has. So I think she's a strong candidate, but she would do the job well. But she's not necessarily the best to win the election, and she lost the election.
Now, I want to argue the Kamala perspective just on a qualifications narrative. Like in terms of her qualifications, Attorney General of California, current vice president, and then now presidential candidate. So, like in terms of her road there, even relative to Obama, I think she has a better history in terms of qualifications. Now, I agree with you completely in terms of maybe this
Qualifications based on a resume,
right based on
sure,
resume, right,
based on a resume, but some of the intangibles, I wouldn't say
right,
so.
and that's where I was going to say it's just like I agree with you based on intangibles, like relative to Hillary Clinton. Um, I would just say even Obama. I would say that I would call them more intellectuals relative to Kamala. Now, it's not to say that she's not an intellectual. Maybe I just haven't been exposed enough to her.
No,
But
I agree, man. I'm not saying she's stupid by any means, but there's a difference, right? There's a
right,
difference between like Kamala to me, and again, I don't want to be if I ever see her, hopefully she doesn't get upset about this. But like Kamala to me strikes me as a respectable professional person.
right,
Just a
absolutely,
respectable professional. Like
absolutely,
if she were like somewhere as a manager, like just being professional, showing up on time, running the meeting well, just being someone you can respect, who's honorable and respect professional. That's what she is to me. It's not
same,
like wow, she's a thought leader, she's an innovator, she's like
right,
a deep philosopher, thinker,
right.
really in the weeds of things. Like she doesn't strike me as that type of person. She strikes me as a good, clean professional, which is good, but it's not like presidential impressive to me.
I agree with you. I agree with you. It's like right from an intellectual perspective. I I haven't been exposed enough to her, but I still want to give her the opportunity. Again, she's vice president. She was attorney general, so like those are both pretty heavy positions, and I would say even requires that of an intellectual, like in terms of the intangibles. So I would say the possibility or the potential is there.
I don't think it's. I don't think we need to
I
try to
mean,
make excuses. For instance, let me tell you, I don't need to listen to Pete Buttigieg very long to know that this guy is sharp. Pete is now. Problem with Pete is I don't think he's electable either because he's gay, and I think the country would elect a woman before they elect a gay person. So again, it doesn't bother me that he's gay, but in terms of electability, I think he would run into a problem. But Pete is sharp, and I don't got to make excuses, and maybe if in the right scenario he actually no. Pete is sharp and it's clear, right? Kamala is not that. She's still cool, but she's not at that top level to me.
like I don't. I'm not going to cast. Again, I agree with you as of my current view of her, but I think that she does have potential. It's just like I've right now. I think she is prisoner of the moment, and like in terms of when she was having the interview with Charlemagne the God, I think he asked her about one of the criticisms of her is that she repeats herself a lot, And I think this kind of speaks to people not really seeing her as an intellectualist because, like, again, a lot of the answers to her questions, number one, is repetition, and then two, it's very broad, and she's not going into extreme detail. And she's in that interview, she said that she was doing it purposefully. Like repetition, number one, is good for it's good for a campaign. It's good for people to keep hearing you say the same thing, so they identify with your policies and your position, and they know it. Um, and like when she speaks on issues, especially like I don't think that it's like especially relative to other politicians, it's just like I don't think that she is. I don't. I see her as having potential to be an intellectual. Me personally, I don't think.
I don't think so, man.
That's me
I think
personally.
she's I think she's similar to like a Biden, right? And again, Biden's a president, but he's not Bill Clinton. He's not like Bill Clinton is sharp. Like if you listen to Bill Clinton, he's like Gavin Newsom is sharp, right?
Gavin Newsom is
Pete
sure.
Buttigieg is sharp. Like these are guys that are like you got to watch yourself when you talk to them. Like these guys are not lightweights. Where I'm not saying she's a lightweight, but I'm saying these guys are like formidable in a good way. Like these are
Right.
guys that are they're gonna be like wow, like I didn't think about it that way, or man, that was really smooth, like how he put that together. Like I've never gotten that listening to Kamala. Now I've listened to Kamala a lot more, and I've listened to those two people. So now I'm not saying that she's like. There's a difference between saying that she's not bright. I'm not saying she's, for instance, I think Bush
Right.
on
Right.
lower end, right? I think
Oh,
Bush is lower end, right? And then, she's better than
mid tier.
for
Right.
sure. And she's better than average for sure. And she's clean and professional, right?
Right.
But not at the top end of the intellectual talent. I just
Right. I agree
don't.
with you there. Not top end, but I like, and I think we're nuanced, but I
Neither is
give
Biden though. Neither is Biden.
right.
Biden isn't either. He's not at that level either.
I give her credit though. It's just like previously when I as a senator when I heard her do some back and forths um in some Senate committee hearings, I thought that she was reasonable. Like you know what I mean, and
She
I
is
and I
reasonable.
and,
She is
and I got
reasonable.
shades of
Yes.
intellectual, and I got shades of like it's like I'll say when she was a senator, like in some of the committee hearings that I've heard, that actually happened to be some of her best moments. And like that's where maybe I'm pulling from that, where I say like she has potential
And,
because
and
that's
that's
where
her
my
job
memory
too,
is.
right? She was a
Right,
prosecutor, right? So when it
right,
comes to going back and forth and grilling some folks, she does have experience and practice
right,
doing that. Again, I don't want to over like so because like for instance, I don't think Ronald Reagan was a particular intellectual, right? Like you
right.
could be a president with or like I said, George Bush,
Donald
but
Trump.
normally, but yeah, so like normally you don't. Not everybody has to be at that level. I'm just saying she's there. You have these individuals who are kind of like, and this probably goes to Alan Lichtman's kind of generational charisma, mass appeal key. Um, you have folks like Obama, like Clinton, who have that, right? Who are that sharp and are that charismatic.
I
And
agree with
then
you.
I would say you have somebody like, for instance, Al Gore, who was sharp but not charismatic. Al Gore is
Right,
very sharp too. He didn't have the charisma.
right.
We're like Kamala don't got either. She's not sharp at that level, and she doesn't have charisma at that level either. She's more like Biden, which is like Biden is president, right? And I like Biden, and I'd rather her be president than Trump. But I'm just saying she is not at the upper echelon of in my opinion, of intellect and talent, either the charisma or the intellectual side.
I can agree with you. It's I'm not. I haven't casted that permanent judgment in my head, but as of the moment, I do agree with you. Like I'm right there with you, and I'm just giving her the opportunity,
The
or
benefit of the doubt. But yeah, I'm
right,
just saying I don't have to give Pete the benefit of the doubt. I can just
right.
listen to Pete and
You're
know
right.
like this guy is solid.
You're right. I completely agree with you.